Hi guys, it's DJ Mick Gill here. I've been asked by a few people to do a few tutorials about basic mixing, a simple guide as to how to beat match and how to do transitions of music. So I've decided to. So any of you have any suggestions or anything you want to learn, please leave in the comment. Like, comment and subscribe there on the bottom. Click the notification bells for any new uploads. And I'm going to try my best to help you along. Go through the equipment very quickly that I am using. I have a DDJ Pioneer DDJ SX2 powered by Serato. It's pretty much industry standard. It's not the biggest controller, but it's a very good one. I'm not suggesting you need to buy a big controller. You can start off on a very small controller and work your way up. If you're able to mix on a small controller to a decent level, then consider buying a larger one, because to be honest, once you're able to have a fader, a crossfader, 2 decks and a few EQs, and a facility to do some sort of a loop, you should be able to DJ on anything. So I personally learned to DJ on vinyl decks and then moved up to CDJs, and now I use a controller just for simply, it's easy to carry around way more music on a computer than it is to carry record boxes. So by all means, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll try my best to answer them. Okay guys, right now here we are, there's the decks in front of you. Now I'm going to go through this individually, each button, or each of the main buttons that you're going to be using and what they do. Okay, so over here at the start, you have your Q button. Okay, Q, what that does is that starts playing the track, but brings it back to wherever you have set your cue point for. So it's great for practicing to see what a mix sounds like. You have a play button underneath it here, which is for obviously playing and pausing the tracks. Okay. Up here is your jog wheel, and then you have what I like, which is vitally important if you're looking for beat matching. This here is what you use to control your tempo. It's your pitch. Okay, so that pitch basically controls the speed of a song. Under here is what we have our loop station down here. So you have obviously an auto loop on this system. On most systems you'll have an in and out at minimum, which is what these two buttons here are. Okay, so at the start of the loop you press in. When you come into the end of the piece of music you want to loop, you hit out, and it'll loop it over and over again. Okay, now onto the actual main mixer here. Okay, so you have your crossfader here at the bottom, you have your main faders here for each channel. There's a 4-channel mixer on this one. Sometimes you may only have a 2-channel mixer. Okay, if you move up here, you have your master volume. Okay, then you have your booth monitor. They're 2 different separate outputs. One's for if you had a booth monitor in the DJ booth that you're playing in, or if you've got a separate output for other sets of speakers. Then you've headphone mix. Now that controls whether you can hear just what's coming through your headphones or what's coming through the speaker and your headphones. Okay, then you have your actual main EQs. Now you have your gain at the very top. Okay, or trim it's called. Okay, now what that's for is to control the sound of the level of the volume of each track. So you make sure that these lights here, when they're lit up, are going to be lighting up. Never try your best not to go into the red, but if you're going into maybe the first or second yellow one, you're able to match the 2 songs to be at the same volume. The next one there, you have high, mid, and low. Okay, they're your EQs. Okay, so what they're for is your higher sounds, so your tinnier sounds would be on the high. Your melodic sounds, where you're kind of singing and kind of mid-range frequency, is on the middle. And then your low frequency, your bass, when you see lads put up YouTube videos saying bass boosted, it's because they've done this. Okay, but what that is basically your bass and the lower end of the frequency for each individual track. Now I have 4 of them because I have 4 different channels, 1 for each song that you'll be playing. Then this here is called a filter. Okay, so you have a high pass filter and a low pass filter. Okay, that basically is like an effect. It's a very good tool for mixing. You don't necessarily need it, but it is there. Okay, now that's the actual mixer itself. Obviously this side again, we've the same again. We have basically it's the same as what was on this side. It's two separate decks onto one controller, okay? And then obviously we have our laptop over to one side, which has all of the software which we use. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to go through this now, widgets. We'll start off here with the first track, okay? Now, I have selected 2 tracks here just to try and get an idea to show you about beat matching. Okay, beat matching, there are lots of different ways to mix. Beat matching would be considered to be probably the... I'm doing it naturally without actually even showing you. Beat matching would be considered to be one of the more standard way to mix dance music. So if you were to take a track, for instance this one here, which I'm going to loop, okay, so that track there, in every song you have 4 beats to a bar, okay? So there's 4 beats to a bar. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first bar. The next one comes in 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there are a lot of people that like to mix by dropping it on the 1. Now that works for beat matching as well, but when you drop on the 1, you have to be very, very, very quick to ensure that when you're dropping it on the 1, that you get it right, because if you get it wrong, it sounds terrible. So if I was to say play one song, so right, and then I'm going to drop it in on the 1. So 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a different track now dropped in on the 1. Now it works in a club, it's no problem there at all, but the issue with it is it doesn't work on everything. So if you were to try and get used to beat matching, what you tend to do is mix the 2 songs together. So you take the first song, you take your pitch, which is your tempo, you make sure that that is matching to speed. Now you can do that by ear, if you can try and do that by ear, because it will help you going down the line and in the future. You'll know when something sounds right. So if you can do it using ear, by all means do. If you can't, then there are many tools that can help you, including on Serato they would have the same beat per minute written up on the screen, BPM it's called. Or the other thing, of course, is you can press the dreaded sync button that most DJs hate. I personally don't use it, but that's because I've never learnt to mix with the sync button. I don't have a problem with people using it, but beware, on many tracks it doesn't work because the tracks are not aligned the way that sounds right to the ear. So if you press the sync button on some tracks, for those of you that are Irish that would know, Maniac 2000 would be a good example of a song that doesn't match on its beat track to what this computer says it should sound like. So therefore when you mix it, you have to actually mix it by ear. A lot of DJs tend to try and drop that in on the 1 if they can't beat match by ear. I personally don't have to, I'm lucky that way. Well, not lucky, it's lots of practice, but it does help if you know how to do it. Okay, so there's the first track. So we take our second track, okay, right? So you take the second track and you bring it in on the 1, the same as you did before, but you remove, if you can help it, you remove the bass from it. So now I slightly missed that. So what you do is you cue till you're happy, and when you think you've got the same speed as the song, you hit play. And now the 2 songs are mixed together. You wouldn't know there was two different songs except for the fact that that's coming in, and you swap the bass. So that is a general easy way for you to learn to beat match. Take two songs of roughly the same BPM and keep practicing. Honestly, practice makes perfect. It's the only way to ensure that you're going to get it right every time. Once again, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate every like and comment that's written below. I will try my best to answer any questions. Please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like if you like the video. I'm trying my best here to try and give you an easy guide as to how to DJ. Any other mixes and stuff will be up on my channel. Yeah, I'm making a bit of a shambles of this, but I'm trying. I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Good night.